Hi everyone. Sorry I'm a couple minutes late. I've been trying to do like a lot of stuff today. Okay, Y&R is good. Noah is finally gonna come out of the coma, which we already knew, but it was a matter of when. Because I've discussed it before, so whatever. Today was the breakthrough because apparently overnight he was doing better, so then they reduced his medication, and it was a matter of time when he was gonna wake up. Now they still haven't unwrapped his head, so that's still a mystery. Which we know is going to be a new person, but anyway. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's the focal point, okay? And everything else is surrounding that. Because uh, just for people who didn't watch on Halloween, which you really missed something, because let's be honest here. We haven't had too many love scenes on the soap operas at all as of late. I don't know why. Because I mean, I understand, 2020 happened, but that was 5 years ago. So I don't understand. But anyway, um, so now, okay, now we're 2 days removed from that. If you talk about Monday to Friday, right? Okay, now Claire is smart. I've said this before, but her questions might ruin her friendship with Holden. The reason I have a problem with this is because they slept together, and now 2 days later they want to act like it never happened. I don't like this. I never have. I never will. Because why would you act like that? Are you ashamed of it? Are you afraid of it? Do you not want it? Then that made me question, did you not want it in the first place? Then why did you let it happen? I don't know. And then um, we kind of get the clue that Holden and everybody is going to go back to Genoa City because Claire's talking to her mom and her grandma and talking about how, I've made a major decision. And I'm like, what are we talking about? And she says, it's been fun here, but I think it's about time I come back home. I'm like, okay. Then you can also tell by the way she did her hair because the whole time she was in LA, quote unquote, she had wavy hair. She looked good. Okay. Now it's all straight, pulled back. I mean, she did it in a braid today, but I swear, when she goes back home, it's going to be straight and everything. I don't know. I wish they would make up their mind on what they're going to do with Claire. Either have her be like serious, straightforward, the thing, or wild. I don't know, but even I don't like the words because it's like you're either straight and boring, kind of, or like wild and crazy, and they can't pin you down. Just or they call you a free spirit, but then they make it sound bad, like Poppy, you know, on Luna's mother. They they said that she's a free spirit, but then they throw it back in her face again and again and again. So that goes into the treatment of women, which could be another video on its own. But anyway, okay. So she wants to know answers about the connection that Holden and Audra had back in the day, apparently, right? Which we all know, and I've kind of suspected that it was more than he was telling, and I've talked about that. Well, now Claire wants to know all the details. And at first he's like, could you please just not ask questions? And she's like, okay. And then so she goes back to the Shadow Room, which is a nightclub. and to say thank you to Sienna for their hospitality, right? Okay, so then she happens to meet Mitch at the same time, and them together as a couple, and she said the vibe was off, like it was really dark and stuff. And then, aka, she feels like they were hiding something. So then Holden says, "Well, we're out of there now. Don't think about it, yada, yada, yada," to try to get her mind off of it, right? Okay. So then it doesn't really work because she's still curious about what happened. And she's like, "I just want to know what happened. Why aren't you telling me?" I'm like, I don't know if he's going to tell her or not. And then with Claire being the way she is, she's either going to ask a lot more questions or become very suspicious at a moment's notice because he's not answering the questions. But then again, you have to go back into her past of being with her Aunt Jordan. Remember? Okay, the relationship with her Aunt Jordan wasn't a typical relationship. Um, Her Aunt Jordan used her as leverage to get what she wanted and uses her as a thing instead of a person. So that's why she's so suspicious of people. And he should know that. He knows that. So why don't you just answer the question? Because I believe now he wants to put it on. Well, if you want to know so much, then that must mean you want to be back with Kyle. Is that true? No, the woman. Okay, I will speak for myself in this situation. All right, now if I sleep with somebody and I just started to know them and we did that, I would be curious about their past. Maybe I wouldn't ask them like an interrogation, but I would ask questions. And if you're sketchy on the answers and or you don't answer, I'm going to start to get even more suspicious because the alarm bells that females have, intuition and all that, are going to start to go off. Okay? So it's a normal reaction, man. It's not about she wants to be back with Kyle or whatever. She's just telling you her whatever is going off, and the more you don't answer it, the more it's going off. So yeah. Now as far as Claire and Kyle, I don't know. I well, okay, I thought about this overnight because that's what I do. I'm kind of weird like that. But I said, I think they need to have a conversation just to clear the air about whatever. What they are to each other at this point, what happened, how they feel about it, all this stuff. But not a drawn out conversation. And not where it's an interrogation where the one side feels like the other side is asking them too many questions. Not like that. Just like let the person speak. You should have an open dialogue, which is one person says whatever they want to say, and the other person just listens. No commentary, no nothing. Then the other side talks like that. But is it going to happen like that? I don't know. Okay. So then, what's funny is that, of course, Claire didn't ask uh, uh, Sienna any questions. So then you see Noah, or not Noah, Nick, about to go into the club and ask Sienna questions, right? Because remember from yesterday, he said, "Well, tell your husband I want to see him." And she's like, "Okay, yeah, yeah," to get him off her back, right? So then he's about to go into the club and he gets a call from Sharon, and Sharon is freaking out, saying, "Where are you? Where have you been? I've been trying to reach you, yada yada. Uh, Noah woke up and whatever, and you gotta get back to the hospital." So I wanted to scream at the TV at that moment, like, "Woman, what do you want? You tell the man to go look for answers. He's doing what you ask. and then you want him to be at your son's bedside because your son just woke up. Okay? I'm sorry, but the man is not superhuman. He cannot be in two places at one time. So what do you want? Sorry, had a moment there. Because also I get kind of bored when they talk about the same thing for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And also, you see the parents at the bedside waiting for something to happen. I get bored. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so that's today's recap. Hopefully, it'll get better. Well, I'm hoping. Well, I know that probably they're going to unwrap his head this week. So then we're going to see the new Noah. Where it goes from there, I don't know. Because they're acting like now that he forgot everything that happened. And he asked his grandma, "What happened to me? How did I get here?" And she didn't answer any questions because she said there'd be time for that later. So, we're kind of at a standstill here. All right. Bye, everybody.